All right, the housing market has been wild for months. Homes with multiple bids going for way over asking price. It is definitely a seller's market. However, some realtors say that women are being shortchanged in all of this. So to explain what's going on, Helbig Strick joins us. Kathy is a licensed broker and CEO of Experienced Real Estate Partners with EXP. So first, give us an update on what's going on with the market here in St. Louis. Is it still crazy?
Yes, so there is still some craziness to it, but we are seeing some shifting and some signs of it slowing. Not to a point of slowness, but we are seeing less offers on houses than we were before, even though there might be some multiples still. And we're also seeing some of the traditional contracts make their way back into play, which is a real clue that we're starting to shift. So things like inspection contingencies are coming back, appraisal contingencies are coming back. We're kind of starting to get back to the norm of the typical contingencies a buyer has in a contract.
People being able to be a little bit more picky. Now, I understand that you work with a lot of women, whether those are women who have gone through a divorce or they're just looking for an independent investment. But explain the gender discrimination that you see.
Yes, so there's lots of surveys and reports out there that show that there is still some gender biases that exist. Typically it's in the rental market, but then when we're talking about home sales and purchases, it looks like on average women tend to get about 2% less when selling their home, and they end up paying about 2% more than a man does when they're buying a home.
Why?
Well, I think because there's definitely some gender expectations that are in our roots, you know, so culturally women tend to be more compromising. They're not as hardcore in negotiations. They want everybody to win, so there's that emotional, you know, everybody get along type thing, where sometimes, you know, men are a little bit more shrewd negotiators. And oftentimes too, housing is so emotional that women are connecting to a house on an emotional level, and so they're not as willing to walk away sometimes as what we see some of our male buyers that we're working with. I did find out through some of the studies, I thought this was interesting, that a buyer gets a better deal if it's a woman selling a house to a male. And then you get a better deal, according to the reports, if you are a female working with a female.
Interesting. Okay, so maybe you can relate and you know what each other's priorities are and how to work together. But really quickly before you go, can you give us some tips to make sure whether you're a woman or a man that you get the best deal?
Absolutely. First thing first is make sure you're knowledgeable about the market. Make sure you're aligned with a specialist in real estate, and also make sure you understand all your financing options. A lot of people come to the table and they get the cart before the horse, and they fall in love with the house, and they're not really sure what all their financing options are. So I think it's really, really important, the pre-approval process, and that you're working with someone that takes the time to explain all the different options. And particularly in this market, remember right now, you're marrying the house, not the interest rate. So all of the buzz about interest rates being high, it's true, but they're not necessarily going to stay there. According to what all the statistics say, and the economists, that when the economy stables out a little bit, we're going to see interest rates come back down. So don't let that get in your way, but just know what you're dealing with going in, that's not what you have to keep forever. So definitely still house first, that's what matters, you know, and then get your ducks in a row.
Yeah. Well, Kathy, thank you so much for that expertise. And if you are looking for real estate help, you can give Kathy a call. We have her phone number right there on the screen. Or you can visit her website, experience-re.com. You can also find her all across social media at ERP Home.